Alright, BobalosRex here, and I'm starting this Vault Weekly from where everyone should be starting their week as best they can. The Dark Moon Fair. You want to get that rep buff, in my opinion. It's going to help you get a lot of these unlocks going. Um, but more on that in a bit, because I do have my secret scheme that you may already know. It's not like a big deal, but there is that. But let's go get the vault, talk about the weeklies, talk about all the other stuff, and then get into the news proper. Because new patch. You can go up to Koresh, you can get your cloak. I got mine. You can get your fiber. I have a tailor that's going to be making mine. Oh, there's some appearances that I didn't have. Go ahead and take that. It's like 2k gold. But yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just take that. But yeah, there it is. Season 2 basically over. It's all done. We are now in Season 3. And we are actively getting vaults for Season 3. So I've been doing some delves. You want to level up your delves. I did a Mythic 0. You can actually do 8s and start building up your vault. So if you want to really max out, you want to do 8 8s. Alright. I'm basically gonna unlock up to 11. That's gonna give me 4 8 plus things. So I'm gonna have 2, and then this will be whatever. But that's just me. If you want to max it out, you want to do 8. And then as far as weeklies, the new weekly this week was Titan Disc Fragments. You can do that in Delve super easily. And that will help get you a spark. Now, I wanted to wait to turn this in because you do want to do your sparks quest. Because you should, what the game is telling you is you should be able to get 2 this week. You should be able to get 1 crafted piece this week. From what I'm seeing. Here, look, I get that, and then oh, I got all the reps, and then oh, that even gave me Koresh Trust rep. That's new. That's new. That weekly actually gives all the reps now, and it awarded a veteran piece. Yesterday it wasn't. Interesting. And it gave me a key. I thought we weren't supposed to get keys. Make sure you do your weeklies. From what I just saw there, I'm glad I did on stream. So, season maximum, as you can see, 2. You should be able to get a 3rd one. Alright. I did just get a bunch of rep pushed to me earlier, too. So, there have been bugs. You know it. And now that weekly is done, let's get into the other weeklies. Now, one of the other weeklies I'd recommend doing is the PvP weekly, as well as the dungeon weekly, which is for the rookery. You can get Koresh rep. You can actually pick Koresh rep, and that's 1,500 rep with the Koreshi Trust. So you want to get that done, and you can do that as a follower dungeon. So I could just queue up right now, do follower dungeon, the rookery, and get that done. Easy peasy. Also, Sparks of War is correct, so that's going to be an extra 250 rep that I'm going to turn in here. But the interesting part is these tokens and conquests that I'm going to get here reset next week. So there's that. But it does give rep. I got it just through getting the treasure chest, which no one was getting treasure chests last night. So that was just a free, easy PvP quest for me. The other PvP quests, you got arena skirmishes, so you can get that done. Again, it's season 2. We're still in season 2 for PvP. Okay. So Conquest will be reset, but Honor won't. So if you want to build up some Honor, you can do that. Then you got rated BG Blitz. Koresh isn't on that. And this is saying I've already received mine, so we may only get the half spark this week. And then this is an error. But we'll see. And we got Epic Battlegrounds as well. Right here. No rep for the new rep, so I wouldn't bother unless you need the honor. And then there's 2 other weeklies I want to talk about that are new. So in Koresh, you can get the phase diving weekly from over here once you get your cloak. You can also get the warrant weekly over here. There's also the special assignment. And I guess the PvP World Quest is up, even though it was supposed to be up next week. For extra rep, the World Boss, don't forget to hit up the World Boss. And you'll see Devourer invasions. You'll want to hit up, there's going to be like 4 of them a week. Whenever you see those, for your character, you got, like, they pop up multiple times. You want to hit them up when you see them as well. Undermine weeklies got updated. So you do, for the one that rewards gear, should still, this one will still ward Pinnacle Chest loot. So you can still do that. This also still does that. Nightfall is at a lower tier loot. I talked about it in my change video. Visions are available, but it's a lower level of loot. Let's double check here. So yeah, get an adventure here on that vendor, and then veteran here. I think the max on visions is item level 642. Like, you're not getting that. Or that's like the lowest. I think you can just max out at veteran. I think it's what it is. I haven't done visions since. I don't think it's worth it. But it is something to do. But I'm sad it's not Season 2 gear. Alright, the same with Nightfall. Now, what else we got? So we got that World Boss. Kordax up here. You can just make some gold there. And then hit up Godfather if you want. I got the contract made. Say you're when you get Renown 5, you can get the profession stuff, so you can also buy a contract if you're really trying to min-max. I've been selling those contracts, so I think that's something to do. Mythic Zeros, you can do Delve unlocks. This week is what I was doing. This was super good, so I'm going to get all the way up to 11s. You can start doing Kaiveza, but the quest isn't in yet. And I don't see people with the achievement, because we haven't done the season thing yet. So it's technically not the season. So you could practice Kaiveza, even do it. I don't know if you want to put in the effort to it right now. I would save that till next week. Make sure you get your 3 threads this week for your cloak. I've gotten 2 so far. And you can power it up at the dude. And then, like I said, you can get your... I think I mentioned it earlier. You can get that fiber. The fiber also comes from Renown 5. Cloth, or tailors, can craft it. So you could check work orders, public work orders, put in your own. And then make sure you spend your PvP currency, other than honor. Everything else is reset. You can start getting new crests, so get on all that. And then the Dark Moon Fair. Let's talk about the events. So Trial of Style is ongoing, and the Dark Moon Fair is ongoing. Make sure you hit up the Dark Moon Fair. This is also the last week of Winds of Mysterious Fortune. So grab your bags on your leveling tune if you want to stockpile that potion or get those little goodies. There is a ton of stuff on the Trial Style vendor. If you didn't know, the Transmog dude is a vendor now. And he has a lot of Transmog you can buy. especially right now. So this guy right in here, I'd like to buy from you. Boom. Got all these leg wraps. Alright, and stuff. So that's something to check into if you're interested in that, in fashion. Don't forget your skill points of the Dark Moon Fair as well. And then what I'm going to do with the Dark Moon Fair is get a bunch of alts to get the Dark Moon Fair buff, and then use them to do the Koreshi weeklies over the next month, till the next Dark Moon Fair. Because the weeklies are the main thing, you know, as well as the campaign. So you'll want to have someone with the Dark Moon Fair buff ready to do the campaign and raid quests. Alright. And that's pretty much it. You know, we got the new patch. There's been a whole bunch of new additions. So you got the new text scale. That's why you may have noticed your text change. So you can change that there. Spell density now has some more reduced. Essential everything got changed. Some game sound effect tab. But there was another thing. They're working on the cooldown manager. So you can check into that. I think that's most of what's going on. We're waiting until next week for a lot of stuff. We don't actually have the Eco Dome. So if you're excited to go get your bees, that's next week it looks like, unless it is pushed into the game via hotfix. That seems to go next week, because we kind of just stopped here. You know, on the PTR we, you know, went further, and then we went even further. But it seems that we stopped here. We didn't even get to go over here. I mean, we did for a second, and you do kind of go over there. But there's going to be a lot more questing that we do next week, and I guess that's going to give us the Eco Dome, Ecological Succession. You can do that. And then Delves next week, and it does seem this event is ongoing. So, Horde, we got to get on it. Do Delves on Horde. Alright, also, Season 3 stuff is in the Delve vendor. You can start earning under coins. Start getting that stuff that you may have missed. Transmog. Ethereal Cloaks. This Visor. Alright, even the overcharged Delve mount would be on here as well. But I've already got it. But we are waiting until next week to the quest that's going to get us this mount over here. So that will be cool. Alright. And that's basically it for this week. Let's get into Hearthstone news. Oh, I did forget one thing. Hounds. Hounds are up this week in the Maw. So if it's not bugged, you can hit up the Hounds in the Maw. And I forgot to talk about PvP. So Shadowpain Showdown. Like I said, if you want to farm some honor. But PvP is kind of waiting. Mythic Plusers. You know, you're doing zeros except for Tazavesh. So you can do 6 zeros this week. Well, fresh ones. You can actually do 8. But you have to do 2 extra. But I feel like the bigger thing is Delves. And you just want to get your vault ready. Now, also, here, real quick, this quest is also up if you want to get your free Valor Stones and Flight and Crests. That's what I meant. So, Hearthstone news, real quick. Let's get through it. There is the Heroic Brawlicium. You can spend 1,000 gold for that. And there is a pack quest as well, so you can do 1 game, get a pack. I wouldn't recommend spending gold on it, but it is wild format, so that's up to you. There's also a new event with a new card that is coming out, and a new, and you get like a hero too. And then there's Mechathune on the store, so if you want to buy Mechathune, you can do that. And of course, the new Battleground season is here. And then I'm gonna be saving for the mini set, because with this Brawlicium, it's a sign that the mini set is not too far away. So I'm gonna be saving my gold for that. And I am gonna mention this thing that came out. So there's two things that came out. There's some WoW stuff that came out going on in China. China's getting some more little goodies, and I'm just like, good for them. Do I want them? Yeah, sure. I would like all the goodies. But I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. And then also in China, there's another Dark Moon Fair in Hearthstone, and it's got a Yogg Saron skin that literally takes over the whole board, your side of the board. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going away. So if you didn't like the pet, how they did the pet, that whole Dark Moon Fair system, well, it's not going away, and it's probably going to be back again. Some people are thinking they may change it for before it comes out over here. I doubt it. I think it's going to be that way. That's how it is. Gotcha's what they're doing now, and it is what it is. Diablo 4, Mother's Blessing to the 12th. You know, get that stuff done this month if you want to do your Diablo. You know, and get all that good stuff done. And then in Overwatch, the latest crossover for Overwatch. And guess what it is? Nerf. So they're basically doing Nerf weapons for Overwatch. And then McCree gets this big fancy skin if you want to spend money. There is a Tracer event. And you can get it from doing I think you can just get the Tracer weapons from like a little challenge thing. And then there is the Nerf or Nothing event that is going from the 5th to the 18th. So if you're playing Overwatch, that's what you do there. And that's it for the news. I got some stuff I'm working on. We're basically in range of a ton of announcements. At any point between now and Gamescom, and including Gamescom, we're going to be getting 11.2.5 news, 11.2.7 news, which will probably be Legion Remix news, and Midnight news. We had the pre-order leaks and all that stuff. It's time. It's midnight time, and I'm excited. And as far as secrets go, I haven't heard anything, but I'll be keeping an eye out. I will be doing a bonus video later today talking about some alt stuff that you can do if you really want to min-max stuff. But anyways, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.